I'm talking about the antennas, and I'm talking about something like this. Here is sort of this DIY. I just did it a few minutes ago. I attached some glue here, foam glue, and we can see one thing, that it's going to be very light, and another thing, very flexible. So in this video I want to show you how to make this antenna yourself. So let's start. What we'll do, we'll attach these two to each other. So first of all, what we need to do, we need to remove this cover here, this shrink. Let's do that. Okay, it is removed, and then we have to remove this bit here. Have to be removed, and what we need a solderer, attach a little bit of solder here, and we'll be able to remove that. So let's do that. Okay, and as we can see, it was successfully removed. So we did remove this little part here, and actually the camera switched off while I did remove the that part of antenna cable from here. What I did just snap from both sides, and actually there is one more a little bit left here on the top to be removed, because we need to have two holes, 1 and 2. So I'll show you how to do that. Basically, the best, if you're the beginner, the best would be just to cut these bits out and unsolder one by one. So you just cut those ones in the middle, this way, 1, 2, 3, and then what is left you can solder, and this is how we do that. It's good. And as you can see, pretty clean, and there is a clean hole in the middle. Okay, so this part is done. So we have the wire and the antenna now. So what I want to do now with this wire now is to do something like this, similar to this one. So before we go any further, I'm sorry for this bit of paper, but I think it may be helpful for some of you who do not know, who are total beginners. This is how it looks like. This is how this cable looks like. There are 3 lays, 1, 2, 3, and 4th in the middle. So the first one we can see it's insulation, and it's black color. It's very thin. Then we have a part of antenna, and then insulation, and again antennas. We cannot mix or let these 2 parts touch each other. That way they have insulation in between. So now we know there are 4 parts, 1, 2, 3, 4 insulation, antenna insulation, part of antenna. All right, that's clear. So what we have to do next, we have to remove a bit of this black insulation, and I will use one of these knives, very sharp knives, and you'll be able now to see how to remove that, but try to do it as slow as you can. Don't rush, and better do that for 10 minutes, but be successful than cut the antenna out. So do not press at all. Be very try to be very delicate with it, and remember the thing is very sharp. So first we cut and we try to remove, and it's not. Then we do it one more time. Okay, you see we did remove. It's very tiny. So now what we have to do, we'll see that this wire here looks a little bit like sort of like little hairs. So what we have to do, we have to not cut but separate them accurately like this. So we'll get something like that, and then we'll see another layer, the third layer insulation, which keeps this bit and the antenna inside separate. So now what we do, just to be sure that you definitely have that all this sort of antenna outcall that maybe looks like hair, there is nothing left here. That's very important, otherwise you may short up, and you don't want to do that. So have something like that, and then we'll put a little bit, just little bit of soda. Okay, and that's enough. Look, that's enough. We don't want to put too much soda. Why? Because we don't want to burn this insulation here, so we have to be very careful, and little bit of soda is already enough. Then we have to remove this insulation just a little bit, so there is space between this bit here and the antenna itself. So we have to remove just a little bit. So again, no pressure, and we do it very carefully. We don't want to cut it. Okay, so as you can see, I did remove it, and it's very tiny. So this part is done, and we have something similar. So this end will go to the video transmitter. So now we finish with that side, and this side will be soldered to the video transmitter, and now it is time for the antenna itself. So what we want to do, we want to push it through, but as you can see, we cannot, because that hole here is extremely small. And anyway, it doesn't matter, because we have to remove a little bit of plastic insulation from here. So what we want to do, we want to solder this bit of the antenna here, which is inside, to here, to the top, and this bit here of that antenna, which we just use some solder, want to solder it to this one bit here, and we want to leave a little bit of insulation in between, so they do not shorten up. So that's very important. So we'll do it bit by bit. Right. I didn't use any pressure at all. Okay, we have removed. Great. Let's put through. Okay, still a little bit. As you can see, we cannot reach. Sorry. As you can see, we cannot reach. So a little bit more.